Looks like we're good to go. Looks like everything's up and running. What's up, everybody? We are back with more Texas Showdown history. Last night we covered Texas Showdown 1 and 2. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster with it because we spent 4 hours just talking about 2 tournaments. We're going to try to cover Showdown 3, 4, and maybe 5. We'll see how it goes. 3 should actually be pretty fast. There's not a whole lot of footage from Showdown 3, unfortunately. It was kind of in that period where there wasn't a lot of people recording. The guy that used to do a lot of our footage at the time, which was Dan's cousin Andy, he, I think, had graduated by this point and was like not really into filming FGC stuff anymore. He was off doing his own thing, so this was just other people recording. But before that, let me see something. I'm just making sure I got up and running. So we were talking about John Minko last night, and he used to do a bunch of trailers. I actually found his trailer online for Showdown 2, and this is like the only other footage I think of any gameplay or any of the tournament itself. Like, this is like the only other footage I've ever found of this. What's up, Fresh Prince? So he had his own style of videos that he would do. I think he ended up majoring in film or something like that. I don't exactly remember, but he was like an aspiring movie guy. And I just missed who is. Oh, hey, what's up? Thanks for subscribing, Aaron Shapiro. It's been a while, man. How you been? Here you can see this is Sky Thompson. We talked about him last night. You'll see some of the other guys from the scene back in the day. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of these faces. But let's go ahead and sit back and enjoy this trailer. Music's a little loud, louder than the voices, but it's alright. I need to see if they have the rest of Minko's trailers somewhere. That's Martin in the Superman shirt next to Normal Guy. There was the Bang the Machine poster. That was Adam Dietz. Oh god, that fucking pizza was... There's David. That's Dr. Delight and Logan. Eddie Pistons. That's Crow. Ricky Kimball from New Orleans. And this is what I was talking about with the cabinet. So it reset and we had to actually manually put in credits to level it up. That took us so long to do too. I think it took us like an hour. And we were trading off because our hands kept getting tired pumping in credits. Like, it took a long time. I like how he put in like some of the worst worst highlights. Yeah, Third Strike was on console. You can see our Moss sticks. So this is David playing Team Showdown. I don't know who he's playing against. I don't remember anybody playing Shumat Gorath. There were so many Sagats in the tournament. The Sagat player is actually... She was from Austin. I think her name was Dylan. I think. This is the longest trailer I've seen in my life. Well, I mean, he called it a trailer, but I mean, it was just like a tournament trailer. Throwing random ST. Yeah, this is John Minko's his Texas Showdown 2 trailer, because we were talking about Texas Showdown 2 last night. And like, the only footage I have is from CVS 2. Did the Dallas guys record anything from this tournament? Not that you know of, yeah. I don't think a lot of people didn't really record back then. Yeah, I'm sure John has it, but like I haven't talked to Minko in God knows how long. Like this wasn't even his account. This was Slim X. Slim X was a Third Strike player, wasn't he? I feel like I remember that name. Anyhow, so that was the Showdown 2 trailer by John Minko. That's like some rare footage of Showdown 2. So I just realized that you could move around the playlist. So I reorganized some of my videos for 3 and 4. So we're gonna go ahead and watch what I have for 3, which is mostly, I think it's all Marvel 2. I don't have any footage of any of the other games, but there were a lot of games that we ran. It was the first year that we ran Showdown at Stargate Arcade, and it was pretty much all arcade. Everything was on arcade cabinets back then. We definitely did CVS 2. We definitely did Third Strike, Alpha 3, Tekken Tag, Tekken 4. We did a lot of games. A lot of the results are on our website, so I'd have to look at that again to just try to remember who all won. The big thing with this tournament was Justin Wong came down for the first time. He came down with Executioner. That was in itself a pretty big deal for us. Trying to remember if anybody else came down that was big. I mean, we had a lot of out-of-state players, but it was mostly Southwest. Not really too much West Coast, like some West Coast guys came, but it wasn't as big. Like Showdown 4, a lot more came down, but Showdown 3 was mostly Justin and Justin versus Texas for the most part. So go ahead and show, let's see, Magneto X versus Vegeta X. Well, this is all a New Orleans matchup, but check this out. So it should be, yeah, from this point on. Alright. We were talking about Rogue and Rogue players. Earl, who was a really good Rogue player from Houston, that passed away, really early on. But Pat was another really big Rogue player back then. He doesn't play Rogue anymore, but back then he was known for his Rogue play. And of course, Chris Creasy, Magneto X. This was actually kind of later on in the tournament because they both did really well. Houston and New Orleans had kind of a rivalry, especially in VC2. Like in Showdown 2, David won, and Dwan from New Orleans got second, Vinny got third. And so this time around, New Orleans ended up doing better than Houston did. There's all this crazy stuff he's trying to do. Magneto X was always a very flashy player. He always liked to go for that fancy shit. Pat was always about damage. You can tell with this team. He's strictly going for damage, especially with the Tron assist. Louisiana crew always used to roll in deep too for all of our tournaments. It wasn't just New Orleans. Like, you had the big group from New Orleans, and then you had other parts of Louisiana that came in. Like, you had Irvin, Dakota, and those guys. I think they were like outside of New Orleans. I think it was Baton Rouge or something. There was also Bryden, Bryden unfortunately had passed away last year, but he was another Louisiana guy that used to be part of the crew. They used to roll in real deep for our tournaments back then. There was some good CVS2 players from Louisiana. They had a really good scene. Okay, here we got Executioner from New York. Gets Daniel Wynn, Power DN from Houston. It's actually pretty rare seeing Daniel play Cable. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too. Oh shit. That sucks because Storm was probably his best character, and she's almost dead. I saw Javi last year at the KIT tournament in Dallas. We both entered ST. His Honda's still solid. Yeah, I mean, he still plays from time to time. Yeah, that was pretty bad. if Daniel loses his Storm, it's over. His Cable's just not gonna make a comeback. Wow, that old school combo. Ooh. Executioner was like one of those players that we'd always heard of, but we hadn't actually seen. He didn't do particularly great at Evo. Like, I think they did like a 5-on-5 at that first Evo, and I want to say he was on that team. Oh, he mistimed that. X was always known for his Sentinel, though. Like, even back then, even now, it's his best character has always been Sentinel. You could have killed that commando. Wow. Justin versus Pat. So I have a funny story about New Orleans. Every time they would drive in, it seemed like they would get lost. Like, as many tournaments as they would come down, Pat was always driving the van, and for some reason he'd always get lost. You're like, dude, I know you only come down here for the tournament, but it's in the same place. Like, regionals, showdown, you know, monthlies, whatever, they would always come down, and they'd always get lost. And they'd always either be messaging me on SRKs like, yo, what's the directions to the place again? Because, I mean, this is obviously before we had smartphones with Google Maps and shit. But I didn't understand why you get lost all the time. Like, I remember one time they got lost, like they missed the exit off 610. And 610's a loop, so it goes all around the city if y'all have never been to Houston. We have like 2 main loops that just go all the way around the city. The first one is 610, the 610 loop. And then there's Beltway 8 that goes all the way around the city. But that one has tolls, so I wouldn't recommend that one. But 610, yeah, you missed your exit. If you want me to just give you the easiest directions to get you back, just stay on 610. It's going to take you a while, but you'll loop all the way back around until you get to the exit. So yeah, Pat, I don't know. Love you, man, but I'm glad we have smartphones so you can just Google map your way to the locations now. Magstorm Doom. Back in the day when we were still using Doom a lot. Okay, I don't know what that was. Wow, matched out pretty good. Lately, Pat's been doing really good in tournaments. Like some of the later tournaments that they've done for Marvel, he's actually been, you know, one of the top competitors for it. Mainly because he dropped Rogue. He started going with more top tier teams like MSS, MSP. It's kind of bittersweet because I always liked watching his Rogue. Yeah, one of the things I'm most sad about for this year, besides, you know, not being able to have Showdown this year, was the Marvel 2 exhibition, or Tournament of Champs, or whatever they called it, the thing they were going to do at EVO. I was actually excited to see that. Wow. Creasy versus Vinny Man. I think at this time, Vinny Man had finally passed David as our best Marvel 2 player. Like, even though David had won the previous year, he fell off a lot. Like, he stopped really playing Marvel 2. I think he started really concentrating on other games, like CVS 2, Third Strike, Guilty Gear. Because one thing about David, a lot of people talked about like Justin's Cyclops. Justin had a really good Cyclops, but David actually had a really good Cyclops too. Like, there's also Jake from Dallas. He was a really good Cyclops. But David, back in the day, actually had a good Cyclops as well. Fast Fly. Or not Fast Fly. Yeah. Actually, let me look up something. Let me see if Javi put results up. We used to have it up on the website. I don't know if we still do. No, I think he took the history off of there. Wow, Creasy playing Storm Scent. Playing Santhrax. That's pretty rare too. Let's see, for the other tournaments, I think Brian Tyson won CVS2. Like, he actually beat Justin in CVS2, I think. I have to go back and look. I was hoping to find the results on the website, but I don't see it on there. I don't know what all the cheering's for. It's definitely not for this match. Stargate was not a very big arcade, so like everybody's like up on each other watching all these matches. What? Why? Why? What are you doing? What was that? I don't even know how to explain that. That was so much. There was so many mistakes there. Raw tag, random counter. That was bad. They switch sides? Yeah, I guess they switch sides. Oh, no, no, no. Maybe they got the... I don't know what happened there. I think they had the names mixed up on the last video. This is definitely Creasy playing MSP. I think they just ended it. Rage quit. Nice. Now we got Daniel versus Pat. The good old stuff, yeah. Good old shaky cam footage. Wow, that short barely missed. Daniel's playing so lame. Daniel always plays lame though. Daniel back in the day, he was known as like the only runaway MSP ever. Like, if you've never seen a runaway Magneto before, you have to go back and watch some of Daniel's matches. And this was like a straight counter pick team too, because Daniel didn't normally play this team. That Tron assist though. This is where it probably goes all downhill because Daniel Sentinel's trash. Like, his Sentinel was like a step above mine, and that's not saying much. He played Cyclops okay. He was nowhere near David's level, but he had a decent Cyclops. Wow. Oh my god. Now you're dead. Now he's definitely done. Dude, I'm sad. No showdown this year, but it is what it is. Yeah. There's not much you can do about it. It would have been fun, but, you know, you gotta stay safe. You gotta do what you gotta do. Hopefully come back next year. Wait, who did Dano pick this time? Same team. Oh my god, how did you miss that? That's like the easiest air combo in the world. You should have killed her. Fuck it up, die doing what I love. All that meter just to get Storm back in, but it's probably worth it. What? Split second early. Pat's Storm was pretty solid. Like, he was more known for his rogue back in the day, but his Storm was really solid. Because, like, he's basically been winning this whole match with his Storm. His rogue really didn't do anything. Wow. Which pool was it? No, we didn't have pools back then. Back then it was just one straight bracket. Kakarot versus Vinny Man. It's an all Houston matchup. Yeah, our tournaments weren't that big back then. Like, most tournaments, you know, you get 100-something people for a tournament. That was a big deal back in the day. Kakarot, well, it's funny how I met him. You know, back then we had SRK, You had IRC, and that was like it. Like there were news groups. I don't know if any of y'all know news groups or remember news groups, but like AOL and Yahoo had news groups. That was the only other way people would communicate. But Kakarot was a player from North Houston. Like he didn't really know about Stargate, I think, at the time. He was just like, he posted on SRK talking about he wanted to play some people, but he only goes to Willowbrook Mall. So I ended up going to meet him up at Willowbrook because that was close to where my parents lived. Like at the time, I spent most of my time at U of H, so I was usually like downtown. I would either play U of H, Stargate, or go out to Galleria. That's where I usually would play. So went out there, went to I think it was still Aladdin's Castle at the time. I don't think it was Tilt yet. This is like 2001, 2002. I think 2002. So I go up there, I play him. I assumed it was him because he was the only one there that was playing like an actual team. Like an actual non-mall scrub team. And I beat him down pretty bad. He was not too happy about that. Because the thing is, like, you know, since I play Mega Man, my teams look like joke teams. They don't look like serious teams. So people don't realize that, no, this is my real team. This is what I compete with. And so he was like, I want you to play your real team. I'm like, this is my real team. I'm like, what are you talking about? Nobody plays Mega Man. I'm like, bitch, I play Mega Man. What are you talking about? I told him, come down to Stargate. If you want to get better, play all the guys here. And that's what we would do. Most of the top guys from Stargate, we'd go around to either our local arcades or, you know, other areas that had the games that we played and just recruit people. If we saw anybody that looked like they might be kind of good or were interested in getting better, we told them to go to Stargate. And so we had weekly tournaments every Tuesday. We would get pretty big numbers for our weeklies. Our weeklies used to get like 50 players per game. Like we'd run Marvel, get like, you know, 40 to 50 people. CVS2, 40 to 50 people. Third Strike, 40 to 50 people. We ran weeklies for Tekken. And then Guilty Gear later on. Like we'd even run, you know, ST. We'd get like 30 people. It's fun times. That's your favorite mall in Deerbrook Galleria? I haven't been to Deerbrook Mall in a really long time. Back in the day, Deerbrook was pretty cool. Because they used to have all kinds of shops on both floors. Now it's kind of weird. I think the last time I went. Galleria Mall had PlayStation VR for demonstrations before VR came out. That's cool. You know, one thing that I remember, like at GameWorks, and I think like some Dave & Buster's might have had it too. They had Tekken 3 on a VR setup. I remember it played like crap though, but I remember specifically they had a Tekken 3 setup for VR. Ooh, that would have been good. But no, he's done. Oh, this is X versus Justin, winner's final. Galleria has like an interesting history when it comes to their arcade. Because like the arcades they used to have was moved all over the mall. Like they used to have a movie theater too in the Galleria. Like I remember their arcade used to be second floor in like the middle area, like near the elevators. I actually liked that location when they used to have it there. That was like before they moved it downstairs to that big location that's now the Subway. They were down there for a long time too. When they moved downstairs to the food court, I think that's the longest their arcade was in one place. Because they kept moving it around. Like pretty much the entire time Marvel 2 was in the arcades, it was at that tilt downstairs in the food court. I remember we would go to the Galleria for lunch. Like me and my friends in college, we would alternate either eating in downtown or going to the Galleria. And like the thing we used to do is like we'd always go to the Chinese food place down there. Get yourself 2 meat combo with the drink. Back then was like $6, and then get free refills on that drink. Take the drink to the arcade, play in the arcade for about an hour or two. Go back, keep getting refills. Like Daniel used to work at the Macy's in the Galleria, and so we would always run into him there because if he was at school, he's at U of H, and then he'd play at U of H, and then when he goes to work, he'd work at Macy's, and then on his break, he'd come right down to the arcade. Like him, he had another coworker there. His name was Mark. It was this like burly black guy that played Iron Man. He would always come down too, so I would always see one of them. Like they always had like alternating breaks or something. It was always like one or the other in the arcade whenever we would go. Two meat combo, huh? Sure, that was Marvel. Shut up. I don't know what the strategy is that he does with this Magneto. Like, just trying to randomly catch Storm. That was a good snipe. That's a nice setup, but I thought he was going to go for infinite. Like, what's funny about this matchup is you know, X usually plays with commando assist, but he's picking Cyclops strictly just to counter Doom. And like, Justin, I don't know why. This year was the year he like decided to play this team, and then he doesn't really play this team ever after this. Like, he was known for his Cyclops, so it's kind of weird that he dipped and picked Doom instead. I don't think I have the losers final on here, because I think it's just winners final and then I got grand final, and it was X versus Justin for both. So I think Pat and Creasy ended up 3rd and 4th. We saw their match earlier. I don't know what he tried to do there. I guess it's maybe tag? This is game 4. Yeah, we're still doing 4 out of 7. Alright, so now grand finals. Yeah, I think Creasy ended up getting 3rd. Like, I think he beat Pat and then lost to X, if I remember right. Like, I want to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian won CVS2 over Justin, and then, I think Shen won 3rd strike? I think Shen won 3rd strike over Justin as well. That's an interesting way to get Cable in. Surprised he went with Magneto. Magneto Cable Scent's kind of like, that's what, Team Row. I don't think I saw him play Team Row too much. Oh, he couldn't get away. Cable needs to build up some meter. See some runaway Doom. Yeah, normally you just see him spam photons instead of the regular beam. So this is going to tie into the next game, because the next game is what's one of the more famous famous games in Marvel 2. Like, he just straight ran away for like 20 seconds. So now this game is, you know, one of the biggest comebacks ever in Marvel 2. So you can see X went back to Storm. Like, I think he's a pretty good Magneto, but his Storm was better. That was such a random hit. Like, I don't think either one of them expected Scent to hit Doom like that. That ended up killing Doom. So you see both of them just building up meter. Cable's gonna need all of that for the comeback. Magneto and Scent are both on fumes. Fucked up there. Like, you can't blame X for wanting to run away at this point. Although he might have been better served to rush down Cable, but it wasn't a bad strat. Magneto's down. Can't see the life dart, but Cable's got like one sliver. Now this right here was crazy. He did Fierce Viper Beam to stay above Mega Optic. And like, Cable, his hitbox in the air is weird. So like, sometimes his legs don't count as a hitbox. So that's why like, you'll see his legs dip into that Mega Optic, but it didn't actually hit him. He still only got one pixel, basically. He's got 1 meter. That's not enough to kill Storm. So he's still gotta like build up another. And for some reason, X kept trying to do raw Hailstorm. I don't know why. He kept going for raw Hailstorm, and that's why he was getting clipped by Tiger Knee beams. And the second Tiger Knee beam he got hit by gave him enough meter for Air Hyper. That's to be still one of the craziest comebacks I've seen. Like, I know he has that Cyclops comeback, but he had a full bar Cyclops when he was doing that comeback. Like, to me, I think the one with Cable is a lot more impressive. Oh, his Storm's already dead. I was looking up there trying to see what his third character was. I'm like, oh, his first character's already dead. See, at this point, we're all rooting for X, especially to get a game, because I think he got swept in Winners Final, and at this point, he hadn't won a game. He should have won Game 2. And then Justin makes another comeback. So at this point, we were just rooting for X to, like, please win a game. Gotta go, good seeing you. Thanks for showing all these old videos, good memories. Thanks for popping in, dude. Hope you're doing well. One day, hopefully, we can catch up sometime. Maybe at the next showdown. Is he playing? Oh, he went back to row. Ugh, that roundhouse. I'll see if I can convince Tony to go. Yeah, Tony's got family though. It's hard for him to go anywhere. I've seen Tony at Dallas tournaments. That's it. Young Justin. Man, good old time. So that was Showdown 3. Like I said, Justin did pretty good in a lot of games, but I think this was the only game he won. He got second at like CVS 2 and third strike. Okay, so Showdown 4, we have a lot more footage. I don't have a lot on my channel, but there's like a lot of other stuff on YouTube because we had DVDs made for that year. Like if you go on here, you can see a lot of people have some of this ripped. Yeah, a lot of the other matches on here. We have the DVD trailer, the interviews they did. Some third strike matches, some Puzzle Fighter. We actually had a pretty big Puzzle Fighter scene. We had a lot of people that were really into Puzzle Fighter. As odd as that is, I was actually pretty big into Puzzle Fighter back then. Let's see, third strike, CVS 2, some more third strike, some Marvel. Like, this event was mostly known for Guilty Gear, specifically because this was Kenso's first big tournament win. But we actually had a lot of people come down for this event. Like, Justin came back down, had some other East Coast guys. I think Eddie Lee came down to this tournament. That was like the only time he's been to Showdown. West Coast. You can see Jason Cole there. He was down here. We had Combo Fiend down here. Ruin. Potter came down. It was a lot of people here. Oof, just in time. What's up, Kevin? Yeah, we about to hit Showdown 4. Let's take a look at the trailer real quick.
Texas Showdown 4 was the biggest Street Fighter event to ever embrace the soils of Texas. With over 200 participants coming from over 10 states, it was truly an event to be remembered.
Lolly Cup.
Stargate Arcade in Houston, Texas. Showdown
there you can see there's what Stargate looked like.
In cash prizes. Here are some of the events that were
Stone. Fubar.
Everybody out there, everyone who's not here at Texas Showdown is missing out. This is one of the best tournaments outside of EVO that you can possibly go to out here.
You know he was stoned out of his mind during this interview.
The owners here take real good care of their machines. Buttons are all good, joysticks, no one's complaining. I haven't heard anyone bitching.
Stargate, the complex Stargate was in had like this whack ass club above it, which was like some drug club called Club Vision. Jason Cole was up there all night after the tournament.
Say weight loss. Go weight loss. So who do you think? All right, who do you think? The Marvel. Who's gonna take it?
Look how shy Justin was back then. He did not talk at all back
Who's
then.
the biggest comp in this in Marvel? Combo Fiend? No Texas? Who just? He's not gonna say that, but unfortunately, no one. You don't even mention anybody in Texas. How sad. Hey.
Mopreem.
Right.
Yeah, wasn't it great when I got first place?
But you didn't get first place. You didn't.
What are you talking about? I got
You didn't get first place.
It was
This
great.
guy got first place.
Everyone was cheering.
Hey, what place
And
did
then
you
when I
get?
won, it was like...
Oh, we did that big. Oh, that was for you.
Just like that. Yeah, and then I came flying in the window. They just
You think so?
That guy, Cancel?
Kensu?
Fucking dirty. Fucking, genius. I like the stuff he's doing. It's pretty solid. I heard about Japanese dizzies, but I've never seen a good American dizzy until that. So that's just pretty solid.
So you think he's the best Dizzy?
Yeah.
Best
that's
Dizzy in
just
the U.S.?
Solid. Pretty solid.
What about Kensu? Where's his chip rank?
Fucking best chip, though.
Best chip, you think?
Yeah, that shit's good. That shit's really good.
Who else got the best Zappa?
Fucking Hoover, the only Zappa player.
The only, that's why he's the best.
Default. Yeah. Nah, but no, it's really solid.
Well, last night, were you sweating with Justin?
I'm just going.
You were just toying with him. He said he was toying with him. You weren't even scared at all?
You'll notice in the DVD, he'll have all these tricks and start hitting me with all this bullshit. But by the second set and shit,
You figured him out.
it was all over, dude.
This shit is on the DVD fucking me, man.
Ah, man, motherfucker, look, man, let me tell you how young you really are.
You tell him what time it is.
Going anywhere, but you're talking about
What you do when you try to do that flip kick
not
shit
getting
on
away
you?
and shit.
How'd you-
Okay.
What'd you do that flip kick? Bam!
That shit, and he
Chop that
landed
shit down.
like, no, bitch, flip kick don't work, motherfucker. Yoga noogie all day. He felt like a noogie that day.
Yeah,
As long
him?
as Kensu's alive, I think not.
All right.
Good, but like, he's Mexican. How does he do this?
Hey, I'm half Mexican and white.
Mexicans never win.
Oh my god, Jake. Crow.
Okay.
The climax of the tournament came when Shin Kensu of Houston faced off against Ruin of Las Vegas in the Guilty Gear XX finals. Most people who were there agreed that this was the most intense match to embrace the fighting game community this year.
The one thing that was actually kind of cool about the footage that Lei did for this tournament, he had like all these cameras all over the place. Like he had like cameras around to get crowd reactions. But I think the only time he used it was for this final. What tournament is this? This is Texas Showdown 4. You were deaf still in school, maybe in middle school. Yeah, 2004. There's Genius,
We let everybody know that
Showa, Marn. Is that Carrie?
that can play everything. That can play everything.
Is that Carrie behind you?
Hold on, here we go. Bring the shit. Don't fucking, talk all that shit behind computer screens.
No, and there's Jan.
Motherfuckers don't even know about me.
Can't even see him. He's so small.
You're all like, Shin Kensu. Alright. Well, after seeing the DVD, you'll know who the fuck I am. And, we gotta take the poll back here. And,
And you know, with that
I
said,
know
you
this
know,
motherfucker needs to go to SBL Qualms and go whoop Japan's ass. Fool. That's what I'm saying.
2004, you were entering high school, hopped up on WoW.
do shit instead of fucking following around with them fucking videos and watching Daigo and everyone picking top tier shit, that you can fucking win with another character. Everyone fucking fears playing shit because
Is this a doc? This was like an interview recap, like video.
Am I gonna keep playing? That's the thing. I'm not sure.
What's next, Kensuke?
I'm going to Disneyland with that money.
Oh shit, Simon. Friggin' Simon from Nebraska. I'm not watching this. Go back. Like, we did a DVD. Lay did a DVD for the event, and that was some of the interviews that he did. This dude peddling low tier shit. It was a big deal. Using a low tier character and beating Ruin, who was considered one of the best. It was a pretty big deal. Let's see. What do I have on mine? Mine, I have Guilty Gear, some Marvel, CVS 2, and then the final set. What do you want to see, Kevin? Since you're in here, you want to see you versus Xenotiger, you versus Fubar, you versus Deuce, or the grand final? Grand final was long. Grand final was like 2 sets. Whatever you want is your stream. I don't even remember something. I'll watch them all. These are short anyway. Xenotiger was from Vegas. He was Ruin's boy. All these damn Fausts. I'm not gonna lie, that excessively aggressive ass year 1 CVS2 got you hyped. Like, Onuki and John Choi made CVS2 look fun. With their crazy ass rush down in groove shit. Too many Faust that turn. It was too many Faust like, XX? There were a lot of Faust players. Oh yeah, wasn't it? It was Showdown 5, right? Where Elven Shadow came down, and he had a pool that had like 4 Fausts, I think, in it. Because like I didn't know who the Faust players were, and like his pool, I think, ended up with like 4 Fausts, and he didn't even make it out. It was another Faust that made it out of his pool. There's too many people that played Faust. Even at Stargate, like that seemed to be like the default character for people at Stargate was Faust. Fucking Javi played Faust. Woke up in cold sweats thinking about Ingrid Ryu. Well, there's only a few guys that were good with him. Yeah, an XX for sure. Yeah, 5. Yeah. Faust, that guy. That's why he was good. He was definitely really good. Shake with the random phone call. All right, dude. Johnny. Last time Elvin came to Texas Showdown, he lost to some bedman player. I wonder who that was. Nice. Probably some dude clapping up BB cheeks that night. What's up, dude? swear, all Johnnies pick that white suit. The white pimp suit. Like, I wonder if he knows that you played David for like years. Like, you know, if you're gonna pick Johnny, you got to be better than David at least. Like, I think out of the two characters Kevin had the most experience against, it had to have been Johnny, Dizzy. Well, three characters: Johnny, Dizzy, and fucking Faust. How you gonna rock Johnny without knowing Hitler was your part? Yeah, exactly. Now this, I don't know how you prepare for Zappa, because there's like only one guy that ever played Zappa. This character was so whack. He's a terrible character until Rao comes out. Mr. Hem, the legend. Oh, that was a fuck up. Mash so hard he activated insta-kill, I know, right? He's been in Singapore for 3 years now, like when I went on vacation to Vietnam. Yeah. It's been out there, yeah, it's been, yeah, it has been 3 years or so. I remember when he told us that he was going, because we're like, if you're going to Singapore, what happens to Arcade UFO? Fubar was a way different person back then. Like, he had multiple phases to his personality, I think. Like, when he first came up in the scene, he was an asshole. Like, he used to come into Capcom IRC and talk shit to everybody. Like, he used to talk mad shit to Javi until Javi clapped him in CVS 1. Oh god, here comes Rao. Worst character in the game until Rao comes out. But yeah, no, Fubar was a real cocky asshole at the beginning. And then he went to Japan. And I think that mellowed him out a lot when he was in Japan. Because he came back and he was a lot different. And then when he opened up Arcade UFO, I think, you know, being the face of a business and a business owner, that changed him again. Yeah, Ryan was very different. Fubar Hall of Fame weep. Last time I saw him, he had just gone bald. He was about to go to Singapore. We were at PAX South, and he was like, "Hey AJ, check out my glasses. They're also cameras." I mean, I like to think I was always pretty cool with him. Like I remember one time, I think it was a tournament that he ran in Austin. Like he ran a tournament one time in Austin around this time. And then there was another thing. I don't remember what happened. I ended up having to, I crashed at his apartment one time. And I don't remember what it was for. I think it was for a random tournament. I ended up staying at his place. And I remember he had to go to work or class or something. And so I was stuck in his apartment all day. And I ended up just playing like DOA beach volleyball. He's like, hey, this game's kind of cool. You should check it out. And I'm like, alright. And then I ended up getting stuck playing DOA beach volleyball all day until we came back. I'm trying to remember what it was for. It wasn't for his tournament. His tournament I stayed with my sister because she was still in school at the time. What was the event then? It might have been like a random Marvel tournament. It was like early Marvel 2 era. I used to travel a lot, especially in state. I was chilling in a stream the other morning. He's extra chill. Fubaro is why I didn't call assist in neutral in Marvel 3. I remember me and Jake went to Austin to practice Guilty Gear Splash with them when it hit console. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Like if he knew you, he was cool with you. He definitely had like that persona thing that a lot of people have now. Like back then that was a thing too. Okay, I don't know what that was for. People would just be mashing too much. The Austin crew back then was cool. Remember Mike Jones? How could I not remember Mike Jones? Y'all fucking memed the hell out of the dude back then. Don't start. Don't start, Chris. There were, like, Austin was a huge Third Strike bed. So, you had, like, all kinds of Third Strike players over there. What do you mean was they still play that game hell over there? I mean, not the same as it used to be. Like back when they had Einsteins, it was super deep. Chip in this game seems much more grounded. I think in general it was more grounded. They were running bi-monthlies before COVID happened for like the past 3 years. I mean, that's yeah, that's good. But what I mean is back then they were running weeklies. Like huge weeklies in Austin for Third Strike. Like I remember when like Shen used to host these monthly challenges, which in hindsight are pretty whack, but like he would hold like a monthly event And, you know, everybody from Texas would come to it, and it'd be like, you know, 80 people or something, like 80, 90 people in this tournament. And Shen wouldn't enter. What he would do is he would challenge whoever won the tournament. That was like a bonus match or some shit. So I remember the one time me and Harvey drove up there, and I don't even know why I went because I don't play Third Strike. But I think Mopreme ended up winning that one. Marvel 2 now. Let's see. Yeah, here's Eddie versus Potter. Yeah, the final boss. Eddie Lee was a Marvel 1 god. He was really good early on in Marvel 2. He was really good at Second Impact and Third Strike. Shen is known for a quote where he was asked why he didn't come to UFO, and he said, "Why would Kobe Bryant go to play street ball?" Shen, yeah, Shen is an interesting guy. Wow, the sound is so off on this. Well, don't pay attention to the sound. That is a very Shen thing to say. Did Shen ever play Guilty Gear? Kevin? Do you know if he actually did? Because the weirdest thing to me is when Shen played Blaze Blue. Because I totally didn't expect him to be playing Blaze. He did. He used Soul and then Holy Order Soul. Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense why he played Ragna. And how old was Potter at this time? Wasn't Potter like 14? Probably older. Not too much older. 16's not that much older, dude. I just know he was pretty young. You're older than Potter? Maybe. Potter got started pretty young. I said hold down back. This is Marvel. You hold up back. Hold down back. Combo Fiend and Potter. Javi sounds so dead. how it always is toward the ends of the night. I'm 39 now. You were born in 81. Oof. What tournament was it where Gene blew the match versus Combo Fiend because he tried to get too fancy? That's Evo. I mean, that's Gene though. That's definitely a Gene trait. He always tried to go for crazy shit. That's how I feel. What? Look, man, 39 is not that old. I'm 43. Milky carries the Gene legacy now. I mean, that's why I always forever will give Javi shit because he's like a month older than me.
Rush him down. And
When did Gene start playing Buckethead anyway? Because he always kind of played Magneto and Iron Man. I don't know if he always played Team Buckethead or not. Gene always used that team. Like, Gene was one of the ones that we recruited from U of H. Because it was always like, it was him and Daryl. We would always see them two together. And like, Daryl was already going to Stargate, so we're like, you know, why isn't Gene going to Stargate? You should bring him with you. I think we made fun of Daryl for this. Like, how are you not taking this kid to Stargate with you? You just like left him at U of H. Oversent, but I'm sure he always used Buckethead. He had too much shit with drones. Gene had all kinds of crazy, like we called him training mode, because like all these crazy ass setups and crazy ass combos. What? 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 This interaction's so... What? Like, you should've... Well, he fucked up Proton Cannon. And that led to... That led to him in this situation. Fuck that up. Didn't know MVC2 meta was this as early as 2004. Yeah. Well, I mean, Storm Scent was always, you know, a pretty big team. Like, this is 2004. So this is like 4 years after the game had come out. This game evolved kind of quickly, to be honest. Yeah. Like, we showed they were using MSP as early as 2001. Like, 2001, they figured out MSP. Ochoa discovered Fast Fly, so that evolved Sentinel play. Cable's been pretty much the same since the beginning. Like, his basic gameplay was pretty much set from the beginning. Like, once they figured out Tiger Knee, you know, Tiger Knee Air Hyper in the year one, like, a lot of the top tier strategies and top tier shit was discovered within about 1 or 2 years already. You know, after that, it was more figuring out team compositions and then strategies, really. Counter picks. Yeah. In the first few years, most of the major top strategies was already figured out. After that, it was more about optimization. You know, combos and optimization. And now you got guys like Chaos, who are absolutely ridiculous. You see all these Iron Man players that are just like, oh, fucking scary now. I'd say by year 2, 3, all the low tiers got pushed out pretty quickly, so people knew what was strong by then. It didn't take 2 to 3 years. It took like 1 year, to be honest. Like, by the end of the first year, we pretty much knew, because it came out in 2000. So by like 2001, most of us kind of figured out already who the top guys were, or who the top characters were. You didn't see whack shit like Magcent Cammy. Look, man. Magcent Cammy won Evo. Or is Mag Cable Cammy? Although I don't think he played at that time. I think he was playing Storm. Storm Scent Cammy. Yeah, when Justin first won B5, he was using Cammy Assist. His two main teams at that time was Mag Cable Cammy or Storm Scent Cammy. Or Vinny's whack team, Mag Scent Psylocke. As you can't make fun of that. That's Team Galleria. See, I saw people in the Discord going crazy over like some of that tech, and I'm like, man, Combo Fiend doing this here in like 2004. At least get me and slap Psych on it. Rip Potter. Just in Combo Fiend Grand Final. We were actually looking forward to this, I remember. MSS teams are too good. MSS is a really good team. Like, MSP is scary, but MSS is better. And just like that, two characters gone. Honestly, when I played Team Row after Strider, good God, it was a great day. It's because, you know, Team Row's a good team. Strider Doom just takes too much work. I don't know why he keeps fucking that up. Wait, what is this team he's playing? Why does he have Psylocke? Mag Iron Man Psylocke. His only goal is not to get swept. Nice. Better than MSB? I don't know. Sias team time gold. I mean, MSS is a more solid team. That's the Scrubby Mall team for Easy Infinite, yeah. It definitely looks like a Mall Scrub team. MSP is the more scary team, but MSS is the more solid team. Like, if Psylocke gets snapped in, what you gonna do? If Psylocke's by herself, what you gonna do? Scent, on the other hand, can make that comeback and is a lot more scary. Like, even if you snapped in Psylocke and you didn't kill her, who cares? Because what you gonna do on point? You snap in Scent and you don't kill him, and he's on point, that's kind of scary. Plus DHCs, you know, you got Storm to Scent. Actually, you got good DHCs all the way around, because you got Mag to Storm, and then Storm to Scent. Like, MSP for the most part will be fishing for snaps. That's most of the gameplay. Most of the gameplay for MSP is fishing for double snap. Because, I mean, once you get double snap, you've pretty much won for the most part. Depending on the team you play. Like, if you're playing against, like, Santhrax, or any team where they rely on an anti-air assist, you're fishing for double snap, kill the assist, and then it's like, okay, that's most of the game. Like, with MSS, Magneto can do some of the same stuff, but it's not as brain dead. You have to actually set up, you know, the double snapper, set up working with Rocket Punch assist, if you use Rocket Punch assist. I've seen some people use MSS with drones instead of Rocket Punch, which is even more figuring out what you're supposed to do with Magneto. Because, like, Mag of Psi is kind of brain dead. It's pretty easy to get a lot of stuff, because Psylocke just makes Magneto so much scarier. Serious question, how does MSS fight without a get off me assist? It's mainly Magneto running around doing stuff. He's trying to force you into situations where you have to watch out for Sentinel assist. He's a counter call, is what he is. So, like, what happens is if your Magneto's strong enough, you know, he doesn't need an assist. Magneto's just kind of there fishing for the hit, and then he's trying to counter call your assist with Sentinel. Wow, he didn't roll. Yeah, it's a counter call team. Like, it's 2-layer counter call, and plus you're trying to catch them in a combo, because the Rocket Punch especially is, like, you know, massive damage off one hit. And the other part that we talk about is, like, the double DHC. Like, you know, you catch them, you get the meter, Hypergraph Tempest into Hailstorm, then Storm runs away, builds up 2 more meter, tries to randomly catch you, Lightning Attack, Lightning Storm, Hyper Sentinel Force, kill another character. And then depending on who you're fighting against, like, say in this case if it was MSS versus MSP, the goal is to kill Storm. That is the whole goal of MSS versus MSP, is you want to kill Storm. Because once you kill Storm, you get Sentinel in there and unblockable Magneto and Psylocke. Yeah, it's kind of like, if you're learning Magneto, you play MSP, because Psylocke is like training wheels for Magneto. Like, the goal should be, you play MSP to work on your Magneto first. And then when you're confident enough in your Magneto that you don't need Psylocke, then you can branch out and start playing the other Magneto-based teams like MSS or Ro and stuff like that. Because then when you go back to playing MSP, your Magneto's even more scary because you have Psylocke, but you don't exactly need her. Because Mag Psi is always going to be scary for anybody to play against. technically you should kill Psy, but yeah, the DAC dynamic mechanic makes it so you probably should kill Storm first. Yeah, I mean, the thinking is this, is that optimally, you want to be able to kill Storm with, you know, the DHC into Sentinel. Because then you have Sentinel on point, waiting on Magneto and Psylocke, and you should be able to do the unblockable kill on both characters. Alright, Peter. Let's get you another game here. Wait, did Peter switch to MSP too? I think everyone had an MSP back then. I mean, the minute Duck showed us MSP at Showdown 1, everyone was toying around with it. Like, I know everybody in Cali had one. Yipes and Creasy probably had the best MSPs. I mean, Yipes for sure. Creasy was really good. Alright, I'm gonna leave this running. I'm gonna run the restroom. It'll be this set, and I think the next set is CVS 2. What was dude in Cali? Had a 6 semester. Are you talking about Sue Mighty? "20 more years." Did Duck and Wong play their set in MVC2 on Wong's stream yet? They were supposed to. No, like they played a set, and that's what Justin uploaded, but they're supposed to play another set this weekend. What's up, David? Yeah, Sumati was really good. Oh, but did Twan tell you his story with Sumati? I'm sure he told you about it. Like, I think it was the last Evo that Sue went to. He didn't do very well. Like, I think he got washed in pools in Marvel 2. And then he went to the tables, because this is like when Evo was in Vegas, like first in Vegas. I want to say this was like 2005 or 2006. It might have been 2006. But Sue ended up losing out of pools. He got washed, and then he went to the tables, and then he lost there. And I think he tried to make a bet. I think it was on, I don't know if it was craps or roulette. It was one of the two. But like, he had like $1 left or something, and he tried to place one last bet, but it was like minimum 5, so he couldn't make the bet. And he got so mad, he just like took the dollar chip and like slammed it in the ground, and walked away. And then Twan picked it up, and he told me I have Sumati's last $1. And I think he put it in a slot machine, and it didn't get shit. And he's like, "Yeah, Sumati's totally broke now." Fucking Twan. Hibiki. Just looked. Wong and Duck play tomorrow. Ah, okay. Yeah, I know they're supposed to play this weekend. That'll be fun to watch, but Justin's probably gonna wash them. You do remember that? Yeah. Like, Twan and Daniel, I know the only reason they went was to go gamble and get drunk. Fucking Asians. Fucking typical casino-ass Asians. Fucking Chun-Li. We were talking about Chun-Li on your stream. Chun-Li, Jesus Christ. Justin's K-Groove looking kind of butt. I don't remember him playing K-Groove. He usually played like C-Groove. Well, C-Groove. He definitely wasn't an A-Groove player. Exactly your point. Yeah, I don't remember him ever playing K. Obviously he did here, but I don't know. This must be specifically for Eddie. I mean, maybe. Sagat said stop. In groove. Akuma? What the hell? So much for that. Yeah, it looks like Shoto. I don't know why he's playing Team Shoto. Kim gets dick by Chun. Yeah, well, his Shotos are getting kicked by Chun. So I guess Ken was his ratio too. Hey, you finally got rid of Chun. Probably would have went Shotos and Sagat, better chance. Yeah. Okay, that was random as fuck. Like, he's playing in groove like he's playing C groove. Like, he should have just played C groove. Crack stock, please. Yeah, he did. He did at the end. Alright, now we hit Guilty Gear. So we still did 4 out of 7 back then. When did we stop doing 4 out of 7? $2005. Okay. This set is too good. Yeah. Like, Evo 2003, didn't they do a Guilty Gear 5v5? Like, East Coast, West Coast? Was that in 2003 or 2004? Because Ruin was on the West Coast team, right? Who did agree to that? Why did we do forward S7? West Coast won? Yeah, I'm pretty sure West Coast won. Because I think I remember they were complaining because West Coast had like 2 eddies. I mean, I'd still have won the set even at 3-5. Yeah, see? You would have saved us some time. Yeah. Weeklies were definitely super fun back then. Wait, who was our Eddie? Did we have an Eddie player? 'Cause I swear we had people that played like everybody, but I don't remember if we had a good Eddie player. Racer. That's right, Racer X. What up, Jace? What, null DC? It's pretty easy to set up. Hell, even I set it up. Pissed at my CPU currently and just gonna dump the ones I have and upgrade. Oh, Justin just went live. Are they doing this? Is he playing Clockwork, you said? He's on Mac? Ugh. That's probably why right there, you're on a Mac. we had this one guy at work that needed a MacBook. Like, he didn't need a MacBook, but apparently that's all he's ever worked on. And so the higher-ups decided, okay, we're just gonna get him a Mac. We had so many problems trying to set that stupid computer up. I think it took me like 2 weeks, and I had to go back and forth with the Apple division of the company, which apparently there's only one group and it's in Europe. And so I had to communicate with them off different time zones to try to troubleshoot random crap. And I refuse to work after hours because I don't get paid for that shit. So I'm having to communicate through emails spaced like, what, 8 hours apart or some shit. It's super annoying. I fucking hate Macs. I miss the pace of Guilty Gear, yeah. One of my family members wants to install an antivirus on their Mac. What? Why? Mac will only do what they want to do, not what you want them to do. Exactly. Like, the thing that sucked about it was, like, I was trying to add it to the domain. Because once I added it to the work domain, it should automatically, you know, install everything else it needs. But the problem was, our company had changed from McAfee to another security. And so, the new security doesn't work on Mac. So we had to try to figure out a way to install the stupid thing on a Mac in the first place to allow it access to get onto the domain. That was a nightmare. I was clicking on ads too much. What the hell? They fell for one of those computer has a virus called this number scam. Oh god. My dad did that one time. Like, I remember my dad started downloading all this Chinese software. Like, he had this one app that he was watching all his Chinese movies and shows on, and I was like, this thing is a gigantic fucking terrible program that you got here. 'Cause this thing's installing so much crap on your computer, Dad. Like, can I just, like, buy you Netflix or something? I know they have some movies on there. Can you just watch it on there, please? I can't remember how many times I had to clean out his computer. About to jump off. We'll join back in later if you're still on. I'm probably gonna take a break. I have to grab dinner with my mom, and then I'll probably be back on later tonight. We'll cover Showdown 5 and 6 later tonight. Showdown 5 is definitely one of the fondest memories I have for most of the tournaments, especially for back then. I'm gonna try to. I don't know though. I mean, 20 is a lot. It depends on how many we can get through tomorrow. Although, tomorrow, I'm probably just gonna zip through the PZ years. Like the AM PZ years, whatever. I'm just gonna do whatever with it. Try to go through that as quickly as possible. And then that'll go to the modern era of Showdown when Javi came back on board. Funny thing about this matchup, I played Garen at Evo in a set, and that fool refused to play Eddie against me. It's like, nah, man, I saw what you did. Fuck you. We can get to the happier times indeed. I mean, it's all pretty much the same shit. Single limb, people didn't get paid. Blah, blah, blah. MK in the bathroom. That's pretty much the AM years summed up right there. Hey Ram, I got a question. I quit Dokkan back in April this year, looking for another gacha game to play, but going free to play. Any recommendations? Seven Deadly Sins, Grand Cross is a pretty good game for free to play. Like, you get a lot of currency. And that one's pretty fleshed out. Tales of Cristoria is a new game that came out recently that's pretty good. Although currency in that game is pretty hard to come across. So that one you kind of have to save up your shit. Other games that I play that you might be interested in. Let's see. I don't know. It depends on what style of game you like to play. I still play like older gacha games. Like Danmachi Memorial Freeze, there's Dragalia Lost, Grand Summoners. But for a newer style game, I'd probably say Grand Cross. Like 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross would probably be good for you. Is this the Texas Showdown where Kensa does the Disney World pop-off? Yeah. Kev's face when he switched was hilarious. The talk at PZ before that weekend about unbanning Jan. I'm glad we got past all that shit. You know, so much of that era was so whack. I really just wanted people to play games. It's really all I wanted to see happen. It just felt like there's way too much politics for like no reason. He was stressed those games, his facial expressions. Yeah, it definitely was. But thankfully we got past all that. Thankfully that era is dead. Just found PZ when AE came out and wanted to just play, and then a whirlwind sweeps me up into it. Like, I know a lot of, like, during that time I know a lot of people asked me why I went to PZ, and I was like, one, it was the closest place to me, and two, it was arcades. Like, at the heart of gaming for me, especially fighting game wise, I love playing on arcade machines. I can't play on console. Like, I really just can't get into playing on console for fighting games. Which why it sucks for me now. Like, I can't play any of them because, you know, there's no arcades. Like, Marvel 2, I just kind of got used to it, but it's not my preferred thing. Like, if I could buy a cabinet, like, if I could buy a Marvel 2 cabinet right now, I would. If I had space. I'd much rather play on that. Like, that's why I kind of want to get a one-up. Like one of those arcade one-up cabinets and just convert that. I'd rather just do that. Because the scene is too deep to have division. Like, I never had a problem with anybody. Like, the whole Monsters versus PZ and everything. I mean, it sucked, but I never, you know, really held any animosity toward anybody over it. I just, you know, kind of like what you said. I just wanted it to be over and then we get back to just playing games. Games similar to Dokkan or RPG, thinking of Fire Emblem Heroes, but we'll check out the recommendations. Yeah, definitely, go for it. I've heard good things about Fire Emblem too. They seem too small for 2 people though. Yeah, well, I don't mean for 2 people. I'm just playing 1 player on it. The setups that I've seen some people do is they take 2 1-up cabinets to make that head-to-head, rather than play 2 player on 1 cabinet. Yeah, head-to-head. Exactly. You could just death stare at the other player. What I kind of liked and hated was SBO seemed to cause a lot of the turmoil. Like so much politics seemed to revolve around SBO. And what's so sad is I never got to go to the event. I'm still mad that I never got to go to at least one just to check it out. Although the last year sucked. I saw videos of the last SBO. Jesus Christ. Imagine holding a video game tournament in the middle of summer in fucking tents. And Tokyo summer is pretty bad. Like, it's kind of like here. Can you imagine trying to play in fucking tents in the summer? Like, I saw the video of Justin winning Marvel 3 over there, and oh my god, he looked like he was dying. Doesn't Micro Center sell the cabs? Like, a lot of places sell the cabs. Fucking Walmart sells the cabs. The outdoor one, yeah. Just joined. Are we talking about the PC drama or what? Not yet. We're skimming over it. Because we'll probably be heading into that era tomorrow. Right now we're watching Kenso. Taking out Ruin here. Showdown 4. Justin looked greasy. Everybody looked greasy. You see the dude next to him? Like, they had some big Japanese dudes there too. They were definitely not enjoying themselves at that tournament. And like, I wanted to go to EVO Japan. Like, I wanted to check out EVO Japan, but people were telling me EVO Japan's kind of whack too. I honestly think SBO was on its way out during MVC3. Well, yeah, like once they started doing console stuff, that was kind of the end of it, because it was created to showcase arcades, because you know it was by Arcadia magazine, so it was meant to promote arcades. So like once you start going to do a fucking console, that defeats the purpose of it. Javi didn't like Evo Japan. Yeah, him and other people have said the same thing to me. Second one was better. At least it's in a venue, though. The first one was in a mall, I think. I think it was in Sunshine Mall, if I remember right. Like, the first year was pretty whack, since, like, the main bulk of it was in the mall. Oh, with the taunt? And then, like, the finals was limited to get in. And I think, like, foreigners couldn't get in to see the final day or something. I think that's what I heard. Wait, the second one wasn't in Tokyo. The second one was, like, out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if I would have liked that, because I wouldn't stay where Evo Japan was if it wasn't in Tokyo. I'd rather just be in Tokyo. All these throws Kevin did. Yeah, Kevin was known for his air throws, especially in XX. It's fucking annoying. I fucking hated playing Kevin. All I wanted to do was counter you, and he fucking throws me everywhere. Fucking Vanessa. Getting on this Marvel revival. You can't get the game online? Are you using Fightcade or are you using Null DC? Kevin should be able to help you out with that. Kevin's the one that got me onto Null DC. Oh, Marvel 3, never mind. Sorry, I'm still thinking 2000s. We're not in 2010 yet. I really wish I did get into Marvel 3 sometimes. I just couldn't find characters I liked in the game, and then I think it was too old to do combos. Get wrecked. I think Lay told me like that one camera that was pointed directly from the cabinet. I think he told me that one got broken. Like, I think Daniel might have broke it. When he ran up to shake you, I think he broke it. Let's see, we got some more stuff over here if you want to see some more stuff. Need a good computer and good internet to make Parsec work. Yeah, I heard the same thing with Marvel 2 trying to run on Parsec, because I think most people in the Discord said don't use Parsec for Marvel 2. You got stormed after the win? Yeah, I know, right? Can we do the interviews again? No, wait, this is too long. Why is this... Holy shit, why is this an hour and 52 minutes? I'm not watching that. Do the DVD trailer again. We can do that. Unless you want to see Puzzle Fighter. Wait, so there's a trailer. Is that the same? What's the difference between the DVD trailer and the regular trailer? Is this the same? I think it's the same. Oh, it's the same trailer. That's fine. We'll show it
Texas
again.
Showdown 4 was the biggest Street Fighter event to ever embrace the soils of Texas. With over 200 participants coming from over 10 states, it was truly an event to be remembered.
The early 2000s where everyone's tag was DBZ Character
Showdown 4
X.
awarded over $3,000 in cash prizes. Here are some of the events that went down
That's...
during the weekend.
Well, no. It was just Dash X. Most people had something Dash X.
Missing out. This is one of the best tournaments outside of EVO. Like you can.
Don't do the interview. Hour and 52. Why is it so long?
Good. You know, the owners here take real good care of their machines. Buttons are all good. Joysticks. No one's complaining. I haven't heard anyone bitching except for maybe the Tekken cabinet.
Yeah.
But besides
But there's a
that,
Street Fighter, though, so
it's
we
all
ain't
about
caring.
Street Fighter. Not catering to the 3D. So this has been a dope event. A lot of good matches. A lot of upsets. Yeah.
But the Bog's my hero. He rushes down to Marvel now. I really respect that. And he lost some weight. That's hella dope. That's what I respect the most about this kid. Weight loss is a very difficult thing.
That was only Louisiana.
Say weight loss. Go weight loss.
I mean, you had your boy Racer X.
So who do you think?
Even though it's Racer X.
Right? Who do you think? Marvel.
What are other X's? There's quite a few.
There really isn't one that can beat him. I completely accept it. Long is too good right now. Okay, who's your biggest comp in this, in Marvel?
It includes the BS footage of Mike and Potter.
He's not gonna say that, but unfortunately, no one. You don't even mention anybody in Texas. How sad. Hey, he beat you in Third Strike.
Yeah, wasn't it great when I got first place?
But you didn't get first place. You didn't.
What are you talking about? I got
You didn't get first place.
It was
This
great.
guy got first place.
Everyone was cheering.
Wait, what place
And
did
then
you
when I
get?
won, it was like,
Oh, we threw that big. Oh, that was for you.
just like that.
Yeah, and then I came flying in the window.
They told you.
Think so? Kensu?
What was the biggest game in Houston at this point? Yeah, I don't know if there was a biggest game. Like, the thing was, we had a lot of players and a lot of games.
Where's his chip rank? Best
Damn,
chip
food bar with there.
Who else got the best Zappa? The only, that's why he's the best. Well, last night, were you sweating with Justin? You were toying with them. He said you were toying with them. You weren't even scared at all?
You'll notice in the DVD, he'll have all these tricks. He'll start hitting me with all this bullshit. But by the second set and shit,
You figured him out.
it was all over.
These three were the biggest overall. CVS 2, Guilty Gear, Marvel 2. Yeah, it's about right.
You know what time it is.
Like, we did have a pretty big Tekken scene.
Chop that shit down.
No bitch, flip kick don't work, motherfucker.
Like, I remember when Tekken 4 came out, and like they did the national tournament for that.
Yeah,
They were grinding super hard.
Alright.
Because, like, obviously, you know, we had the Houston qualifier, and I think players from Houston went out to, like, other cities to try to grab their spots. Like, I know we took San Antonio's spots. Triple H, I don't know if you remember Triple H. Triple H was a Houston player. He went out to Philly and took their spot. We ended up with, like, 4 or 5 people that ended up qualifying for that national tournament for Tekken. This was 2004. Tekken and Third Strike after those, yeah. I mean, we had a pretty good scene for ST. Late night ST sessions with CMUT. Like, back then, one of the cool things was, you know, all of us would always be at the arcade till close. Like, we would always sit there playing games or outside chilling or whatever, and then when CMUT was ready to close shop, you know, he'd see who was there and be like, hey, you want to play some ST? And we just grind ST for like an hour or so. What's up, Rotendo? You were deployed in 2004? Triple H was a damn good Steve player. Yeah. Like, let's see. Triple H took that, the Phillies qualifier, and I think it was Rudy that took the San Antonio one. Because, like, Crow won Houston, and then he won the San Antonio, so it went to the next spot. Luis got second, but he couldn't go. And Rudy got third. Rudy was a Christie player. Speaking of C-Butt, I told my chat about how if someone told him his sticks don't work, and he'd jump on and do the input and call them a scrub afterward. Yeah. That sounds like C-Mutt.
Bring the shit. Don't fucking, talk all that shit behind computer screens. I know a lot of you motherfuckers don't even know about me. All the people that's gonna see the DVD, they're all like, Shin Kensu, alright.
Old school visor Kenso. Mini Jan in the back. How much did he win from the tournament? I don't think it was a lot. Like, we didn't have pot bonuses back then.
Am I gonna keep playing? That's the thing. I'm not sure.
What's next,
Micro Jan, young robot. There's enough to go to Disneyland. How about that? We'll just leave it at that. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this session. I'm going to go eat dinner. I'll come back later on tonight and we'll go over Showdown 5 and 6. See how far we get in with that. Let's see, what time is it now? It's like 5:40, so probably maybe around 8. Probably around 8. Megabus. Let's see who's streaming right now. We can host. Y'all probably gonna go to Justin's stream anyway, right? See some Marvel too. I don't think he's playing. I think he's just reviewing stuff. But we'll host him anyway. I'll be back on around 8 o'clock, and we'll go over Showdown 5 and 6. So I'll catch y'all then.